Drop bear. A true history of a fake Australian animal. Australia is renowned for its unique wildlife, with kangaroos, koalas, and emus serving as international symbols of the country's biodiversity. Yet among these iconic creatures exists another animal, or more accurately, a legend, that has captured the imagination of locals and tourists alike: the drop bear. This fearsome predator, said to ambush unsuspecting victims by leaping from trees, is one of Australia's most enduring hoaxes. Though entirely fictional, the drop bear's lore reflects much about Australian culture, humor, and storytelling. Here, we delve into the fascinating history of this mythical creature and examine its significance as a cultural phenomenon. Origins of the drop bear myth. The drop bear's story is rooted in the rich tradition of Australian tall tales. Australia's colonial era saw the emergence of a distinctive humor, shaped by the hardships of life in a harsh and unfamiliar landscape. Early settlers often exaggerated or fabricated stories about the local wildlife to amuse themselves and bewilder newcomers. While the exact origins of the drop bear myth remain elusive, its first documented appearances can be traced to the mid-20th century. The creature was described as a large, carnivorous marsupial resembling a koala but with sharp teeth, claws, and an aggressive temperament. Unlike its herbivorous counterpart, the drop bear was said to lurk in trees, waiting to pounce on unsuspecting prey below. Some folklorists suggest that the drop bear legend may have evolved from older indigenous stories, which sometimes featured mythical animals as cautionary figures. However, the modern iteration of the drop bear is distinctly a product of European-Australian culture, shaped by a playful mix of fear and fascination with the country's unique fauna. The anatomy of a hoax. Key to the drop bear's enduring popularity is its believability. The creature's purported traits, its resemblance to the koala, a species already known for its arboreal lifestyle, and its alleged adaptation to hunting, lend it a veneer of plausibility. Stories often describe the drop bear as being larger than a koala, with an intimidating growl and the ability to leap several meters from a tree to attack its prey. The myth has been perpetuated through various means, including word-of-mouth storytelling, media references, and even fabricated scientific evidence. Some pranksters have gone so far as to create fake news articles or mock scientific papers detailing the drop bear's behavior and habitat. Tour guides in Australia frequently use the drop bear to playfully frighten unsuspecting tourists, adding an element of theatricality to the hoax. Common defense measures against drop bears include wearing a helmet, smearing Vegemite behind the ears, or speaking in an Australian accent. All of which are, of course, entirely ineffective against an imaginary creature. Cultural significance. The drop bear serves multiple purposes within Australian culture. On one level, it functions as a harmless prank, a means of initiating outsiders into the country's distinct sense of humor. The hoax taps into the stereotype of Australia as a land of dangerous animals, from venomous snakes to man-eating crocodiles, and takes it to a comical extreme. More broadly, the drop bear can be seen as a symbol of Australian resilience and resourcefulness. By inventing a creature more terrifying than any real animal, Australians assert their mastery over their environment, turning potential fear into a source of amusement. The myth also fosters a sense of national identity, uniting locals in a shared joke at the expense of naive visitors. Modern depictions. In recent decades, the drop bear has transcended oral tradition to become a fixture of popular culture. It has appeared in advertisements, television shows, and video games, often as a tongue-in-cheek nod to Australian stereotypes. For instance, a well-known advertisement for Bundaberg rum features a dramatic encounter with a drop bear, while the video game Team Fortress 2 includes a reference to the creature in its promotional materials. The internet has further amplified the myth, with countless websites and social media posts perpetuating the legend. Satirical, scientific descriptions of the drop bear have been published by reputable organizations, including the Australian Museum, which once hosted a tongue-in-cheek page detailing the creature's taxonomy and behavior. Such efforts blur the line between fact and fiction, adding to the myth's mystique. The psychology of belief. The drop bear's success as a hoax lies in its exploitation of psychological tendencies. Humans are naturally inclined to trust information presented by perceived authorities, such as tour guides or reputable institutions. The myth also capitalizes on the fear factor associated with Australia's wildlife, making it easier for people to suspend disbelief. Additionally, the drop bear reflects a universal love of storytelling. Tall tales and urban legends exist in every culture, serving as a means of entertainment, social bonding, and the transmission of cultural values. The drop bear is a quintessential Australian example of this phenomenon, combining humor, creativity, and a dash of mischief. Scientific parallels. Interestingly, the idea of a large, predatory marsupial is not entirely implausible. Australia's prehistoric megafauna included creatures like Thylacoleo carnifex, the so-called marsupial lion, which was a carnivorous predator with formidable teeth and claws. Though extinct for tens of thousands of years, Thylacoleo provides a real-world analog to the fictional drop bear, lending a faint aura of credibility to the myth. This connection has been explored in academic circles, with some researchers speculating that stories of drop bears may serve as a distant echo of human encounters with Australia's ancient predators. However, there is no direct evidence linking the myth to indigenous knowledge or fossil discoveries. Conclusion: the drop bear is a fascinating example of how myths and legends can shape and reflect cultural identity. While entirely fictitious, the creature has become a beloved part of Australia's folklore, embodying the nation's humor, creativity, and spirit of camaraderie. Its enduring appeal lies in its ability to entertain, educate, and unify, proving that even imaginary animals can leave a lasting mark on a culture. Whether whispered around a campfire or shared as a playful warning to a wide-eyed tourist, the drop bear continues to leap from the trees of imagination, reminding us of the power of a good story.